Welcome back to our Love the Game forum as we contemplate the question of developing young players. So a man who's doing that in real time at St Kilda, the head of development and learning, is Damian Caril. Damian, welcome.
Thanks very much.
And he might be the hottest assistant coach on the scene at the moment, Adem from Melbourne. Adem, great to see you.
No worries.
For the coaches who have gathered for this forum, you live this in real time. What's your philosophy around developing your young players at the Saints?
Yeah, I think getting them to use their strengths is really important. So we love seeing them put time into their strengths, and obviously they've all got areas they want to improve and work on as well. But using what's around them, the coaches and other players just to develop themselves and giving them a chance to sort of drive their own development, I suppose, is important.
Adem, as much as strategy is a big part of footy, how much is this to develop the players on your watch?
Yeah, well, I think it's the key. The fundamentals of the game haven't changed for 100 years. So getting good at what you're good at is what we focus on at our footy club. So helping them, sometimes getting out of their way to obviously develop and get better at their craft. And then obviously once you get an understanding of their role in their craft, just mastering it as well as they can.
So what's your role in that, Adem, if you could share for coaches at all levels?
Yeah, well, I think it changes as you go through, like whether you're a development coach or a line coach. So it depends on what group you're working with. So if you're a line coach, you're working with players that have been in the system a lot longer. So then it's the finer details of their game. So the fundamentals have pretty much been done. Then they're starting to look at system and their own mastery. So, as a development coach, though, like you're looking at, you've got to get your game to a certain level. You want to be elite at this. You want to maintain this, and obviously any RFIs in your game you want to improve in. So, I think it just depends on what role you've got within your footy club. So, obviously, as DC said before, having those coaches and trusting your coaches is a real important role.
The spectrum, I imagine, is fascinating here, Damian. It is for the first-year players who come in and to the veterans who have been in the system for so long.
Yeah, I think Adem touched on a really good point there, that development is for everyone. It doesn't stop at a certain age. It continues to progress, and there's different things you might want to work on and perhaps take ownership as you get older, but development is about developing your whole list, and whether that's in under-12s or whether that's a senior footy club and you're talking to your captain or you're talking to an 18-year-old, I think you have to invest in all of them.
The role of the coach, so not only to instruct but to mentor, how have you seen that grow in your time, Adem?
Yeah, and that's really similar again. Like, you've obviously got the senior coach that oversees everything, so he's mentoring coaches and players. But then the next level of that is your line coach. So you've got your line players that you're really mentoring, and then underneath that you've got a development coach that's looking after the majority of our younger players. So looking after the whole player is something that I think every club is getting better at, and is obviously thinking more of, rather than just being really good at the technical and tactical side of the game, just looking at the personal aspect and even the mental aspect of the game. So I think a lot of clubs are improving in that area, but it's still something I think there's a lot of growth in.
Damian, Dimitri from Yarraville Seddon Eagles has sent through his question. There's a lot of focus on skill development, but far less on team and human development. What are the opportunities to be more of the latter?
Yeah, I've found in my experience, and probably going back a long time now since I coached local footy, but I just think having time to connect with the players is really important. So thinking of some activities outside the tactical and technical, and just allowing 5 or 10 minutes to do a bit of speed dating with each other and ask some questions and find out about information and then share it with the group. So maybe even a little bit of throwing a topic up, thinking about an answer, sharing it with a partner, and then sharing it with a bigger group, and just connecting on a different level, so it's not all about the footy and what's going to happen on the weekend.
So that connection piece has clearly been part of first that Richmond dynasty and now what Melbourne is trying to replicate.
Yeah, it is, and it's something I think as a coach you're really trying to master. So there's one thing obviously teaching and coaching a player about the game, but then what they're feeling. So pre-game, post-game, how they're feeling. So just having that touch point and just being there for them. So part of a review, as an individual review, you'd give all the technical aspects of the game, but understanding how they're feeling in certain parts of the game, understanding how they got themselves out of that. I think part of our role is not only a coach, you're almost a mental coach as well. So I think that's a massive growth area in all clubs.
Dimitri, you've won a Melbourne Football Club money can't buy experience, so you'll see it firsthand. Is if you were to compare the modern player experience to what you had, and it's not that long ago, how substantially different is it?
Well, in the end, you've just got less people and less support. So, as in we had back then, so we'd have 2 line coaches that were not only your coaches, they were mentors, they were your psych. And we had a senior coach that oversaw all that and tried to handle all those things. So the support network for all players now is obviously next level. So like whether it's country footy or local footy, that's the element that those coaches have to absorb. So we're obviously really lucky and fortunate that we've got 10 different coaches, whether it's mind coaches, skill coaches, fitness coaches. The hardest thing as a local coach is you're trying to manage all of those things together. So we're fortunate that we've got a support network in all those areas for our players.
It's great of you to share your expertise and your insights. Thank you to you both, Damian, Adem. Good stuff. So the best of the era right now is Melbourne. The best of what has been is Richmond, and Emma Murray has been such a big part of that. She'll be with Abby Holmes next.